Everyone, and welcome back to the Nova Project. I'm your host, as ever, Pokemon Midnight 8, joined once more, as ever, now and forever, by my wife, the Obsidian Nook / Petal ASMR. When you say hello.
Hello.
We're back. Didn't take long, admittedly. This is going to get scheduled a few days after we do this, because I have stuff that needs finishing. Anyway, we are doing a childhood favourite of mine. I'm fairly sure I had this on VHS when I was young.
To be fair, it's a choice. I wanted to see it, thanks.
Yes, thanks to me and thanks to TikTok, as well as another film that has an actor who's in this that we also will see in that film. We're doing Mouse Hunt. Like I say, one of my favourites from when I was a wee lad. A very silly, very, very silly comedy with Nathan Lane, who is Timon from The Lion King, most famously. Of course, in the film he says Hakuna Matata to someone. And Lee Evans, someone who anyone outside of the UK will have no fucking idea who he is. But he was, unfortunately, because he's retired now, which is really sad because we never got to see him live, one of the, if not the biggest UK comedians of forever, basically. We're halfway through listening to his book that I've also read.
We also have DVD, don't we?
Yeah, we have like all of his stand-up specials.
Whenever we get sad, we put on the other.
100%. Or Russell Howard, another British comedian, or Michael McIntyre. One or the other. But Lee Evans, yeah, basically, if you're from outside of the UK, you ain't gonna have a clue who he is. He pulls off a very up and down American accent in this film, which is awkward.
He's really good with the mime and facial expression.
Yes, he's the perfect fit.
Brilliant.
He's the perfect fit for this film because it requires a lot of slapstick silliness. Lee Evans is a very physical comedian, pulling lots of silly
And
faces.
it helps because if you've seen every one of his comedy shows, he will. When you see those facial expressions he does in the film, you automatically think of the jokes he's done.
Yes, there's a lot of times we were sat there thinking, oh, it's like that one joke from one.
What you said about what is it?
The Torch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't spoil the jokes. He's got his own YouTube channel, you can go find it. He posts all his clips from his live shows on there. They're good shit. It's very silly. If you're not from the UK, you may not get the jokes as much. It's not specifically UK-based humour, but a lot of it is around, like, stereotypes.
It's shit that we do in the UK that, you know...
It's not like, oh, the government is being bad again. Ha ha ha,
It's
jokes.
mainly, like, stupid shit.
Yeah, or like certain parts of the country he's gone to. Like, if you don't have the knowledge of the UK, you won't understand. But anyway, we're not talking about Lee Evans specifically, even though he is brilliant in this, because he is just great as a performer. Mouse Hunt is a very... It took us fucking ages to find. We were trying to find this in another film and they couldn't find it. And then we just went into CEX, which is a second-hand media / bit like GameStop in the US, I think, if that sort of thing. Possibly. I don't know, I've never been to a GameStop. But we were sort of just browsing and I just clocked it and I was like, oh my god, that'll be the copy we tried to preserve.
But they couldn't find the disc.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying this is probably the fucking copy they couldn't find, typically. Which got on my fucking tits. But when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I like immediately, because it was 2 floors, I like fell down the stairs trying to find you to be like, look, I found it. Immediately add it to the pile of whatever else we bought.
Because you said you had it on VHS.
Yes, that's...
VHS.
VHS is out there, it's just outdated.
We managed to get the DVD to add to our collection.
And it was staying in our collection.
Oh yeah, we're definitely... It
Yes.
was well worth the trouble to get.
Oh, 100%. I'm so glad we did go through all that shit, and I'm glad I didn't watch it and go, this wasn't worth trying to track down.
I would be surprised if you...
It wasn't my favourite, it was one of my favourites from when I was very young. I remember, like I say, I remember on VHS, I remember we had this drawer in my old house and like a chest, like a cabinet that we couldn't open because the handle had broke off. It was just like the knob that it attached to, so it was just like... But, yeah, I'd have so many fond memories of the silliness, and this was before I knew Lee Evans for his stand-up comedy. And then it's like, I've seen his comedy afterwards, because it's not for children.
Before he then went to a comedian.
He sort of... I think he did comedy first. We've not got far enough into his book yet. That we just listen when we're playing whatever for some reason.
His dad was in the...
His dad was in the business, yeah. And he was a performer from young... Anyway, we keep talking about Lee Evans. We're going to do his book at some point. But...
To be fair, he carried the film. Amazing actor.
I mean, Nathan, the chemistry between Nathan Lane and Lee Evans is brilliant, and that's good to have for your central characters when your other character is a mouse, as well as bit parts from the likes of Christopher Walken for about 5 minutes. Udesky, the guy who plays Udesky for Jurassic Park 3, which we covered like a few weeks ago, very recognisable man. Once you see him in that, yeah. Some good sets in this as well, like the mouse going around. It's some good live action work from the mouse, because there are moments which is obviously CGI. No animals were harmed in the making of this whatever.
You guys know I love cats. Noah's cats and the...
I mean, for the like one person who watched the Stitches review, because that bombed, yeah, that was violence against cats we do not appreciate, and this film...
At least this one was off.
Yes, and it survived. It does let out a little howl. It was either a very obvious puppet or it was CGI, but for when it... Like, the only time it was a real cat is when it was just chasing.
But the point is, the mouse stole my heart.
The mouse is adorable.
Especially because the mouse had his own little bed, and I was just...
He had like a little bedroom, and in like the walls, and there was this elaborate like...
A little clever mouse.
He is a very clever mouse.
It's basically about this little mouse who outs brothers. Sort of idiots.
They are idiots. It's Lee Evans and Nathan Lane.
And they just get outsmarted by a mouse. Point that... till the house just falls down.
Which I think they did practically, because this entire building just falls down. And if they had to do that, and they probably had one take to do that. But Jesus. But yeah, and then eventually they make string, but it's cheese instead. They make cheese strings, yeah. With a little CGI mouse and his little CGI hat. But I appreciate that they didn't 100% CGI the mouse, because that would have really off-put me from the film, because the CGI has aged, to say the least.
I think personally CGI is better over green screen.
AI is horrific. Green screen at least is real people, it could just look a bit iffy.
I just think that AI isn't 100% there yet.
It shouldn't. We shouldn't have CGI. We shouldn't have AI. Shrek. We are gonna have some choice words to say about that when that come out. If we don't do the Sonic the Hedgehog treatment where we bully them into changing the character design. But yeah, let's not do that. They look like AI. We're not having another rant about Shrek. We haven't even covered any of their films yet. But yeah, this is a very silly family film. I mean, a fucking corpse gets flung out of a coffin at the start of the film, then a guy chokes and has a heart attack and dies. It's very family friendly. But yeah, it's very much aimed towards kids. It's sort of like Tom and Jerry, where it's like it's not violent. I mean, they do literally blow a hole in the floor with like a shotgun and a bomb, but it's cartoonish. It's very, like I said, it's very much aimed towards children. Excuse me. Fucking hell. Pardon me, I just ate like a pack of Starburst. Like a fucking family pack. Oh god, right. yeah, it's a very cartoonish, silly comedy that's just aimed towards families, as I say, but also two idiots that sit in their bed and review films that just like to have a laugh and look at their favourite comedian embarrass himself to the world. But yeah, other than that, there's not much we can say. I sort of joked about best kill, worst kill, but I don't think we'll do that. I mean, there's only two, I mean, take your pick. But, yeah, it's a very silly film. I'm so glad we finally managed to track down a copy of this. I still really enjoy it. It's still... I was sad to see that it was not well received, but it was a financial success, but they never made a sequel to it, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. I don't think it needs it.
I think if they didn't have the original cast, it wouldn't be
the same. No.
Because then it would be the same thing like the original. You can't beat the original.
No, especially when you market it as a sequel and then you change all your cast around.
So, left.
Yeah, just leave it as is. Leave it as a... Kind of, yeah.
The two brothers got their cheese street. The workers got their job back, so they don't need to elaborate on it.
We all lived happily ever after. But yeah, that is about it. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a fan of Lee Evans. If you're from the UK, of course. Unless you are from outside of the UK and somehow know who he is. I know he's very popular in the Call of Duty clip-like sphere, if you wish. Where it's just loads of editing, and it's just, it's genuine brain rot. But yeah, definitely suggest it if you just want to have a silly film that you can just... I don't know how long the film was. I think just over an hour and a half.
Get a good film.
Yeah, it was probably longer than I thought, but... Excuse me, sorry, it's not even that late, it's 11 o'clock. But... yeah, we thought, fuck it, I was in the mood to do a film, and then you're like, oh, do you want to do Mouse Hunt? Without me saying anything. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Little joint choice, it'll still be Madam's turn whenever we do whenever we do the next one. Who knows what it'll be, probably something miserable. You never know. We like to keep things interesting, we like to keep it varied. But... yeah, I'm glad you liked it, babe. Yeah. Did it live up to your expectations?
Well, I haven't seen much of the review, and it was quite funny.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, because I watched The Fifth Element, Lee Evans did make an appearance, but not for very long, so I was a bit like... I'm glad in this one he's in it a hell of a lot more.
I think it's used his comedic talent for films.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He does really.
Definitely. But yeah, so that's about all we can say really. There's no best kill, worst kill, because it's not a horror film. Unless you want to count the two that are in it. But yeah, other than that, go watch it. It's on all your usual platforms as far as I'm aware. Or go down to your local CEX and pick up a copy if you can find it, apparently. Apparently it's in demand, according to the woman that told me that they couldn't find it, I guess. But yeah, I've been your host, as ever, Purple98. Joined once more by the Obsidian Nook / Petal ASMR, whose links you can find in the description, alongside all of mine. And we will see you next time.